I think I see a lot of lawbreakers up in this house.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Sodecast, forming the podcast about film, culture, politics, and Steven Soderbergh, where we watch every film directed by American filmmaker Steven Soderbergh and explore how they speak to their moment. And this one, Steve.
Here we go. Another episode of a couple of white guys sitting around talking.
There it is.
That's
We're
Steven
back.
Soderbergh. He said that. Show us about two guys. I'm one of the guys. My name is Jake Serwin.
I'm one of the two white guys sitting around talking. My name is Ian Ryan.
Bit of a different episode today because Ian's not here, and so I'm going to be going solo. So I thought I'd just start by telling you about the time I met Lorne.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Come on. Yeah, no, that's not right. Different podcast.
Yeah. Mark Burgundy? Marone?
Hey, Marone. How you doing, man?
You got me first. I'm doing okay. I have been consistently wearing my little Fitbit, my watch, to sleep, and I've learned I'm averaging a bad number of hours of sleep.
Uh-oh.
In the last 2 weeks that I've worn it, I think I've averaged 5 hours and 48 minutes a night.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
What's your sleep hygiene routine? What are you doing pre-bed?
I'm doing a thorough scrub.
Smart.
Of the bed.
Okay.
And I'm using those little beads that kill the world.
Yeah.
Remember when that was the problem? God, we're so far from that. The little beads are in our
Remember
brains and nuts now.
Nivea, was the biggest threat to the world. Yeah.
Oh no, you're flushing walnut husk down the sink. You're gonna kill a bird.
Yeah.
My sleep hygiene is poor. My famous podcast girlfriend's sleep hygiene is very good. She has to get up earlier than me, so she gets all her stuff done. She puts her eye mask on. The phone is down, no headphone. She is making the effort to drift off to slumberland.
So
I will
impressive.
do this stuff. I'll do my little stuff. I feed the cats and I brush my teeth and I wash my face and I give the cat his little pill, and then some of the anti-hairball goo that's on my finger I give to the other cat.
Okay.
He needs me to put my hand all the way on the ground.
Oh.
He won't lick it out of my hovering hand. I don't know.
Weird.
And then I will get in bed and I will look at my phone for about 2.5 hours.
Yep.
That is my sleep.
This is familiar to me. Yeah.
But it's good because I'm getting a lot of Instagram reels about fixing my anterior pelvic tilt.
Hey, I think I have one of those. So
I have that too.
I don't even look at the videos. I've just seen myself in the mirror, and I know that looks weird.
Yeah. One of my coworkers at my workplace where no one knows how to conduct themselves accused me of having a bubble butt. It was accusatory.
Oh,
no, it felt like that, and I realized that is from I think just too. standing like a rooster, basically.
Which is it's a kind of corporeal laziness, which didn't surprise me.
I think it's a learned, it's a learned maladaptive posture.
Yeah,
that you can fix by purchasing any of a number of very affordable PDFs.
You can also just do some exercises.
No, I've been doing the exercise. I've been sitting on another part of my sleep hygiene. I wake up, I'm so exhausted. I go downstairs. I got stairs, not to brag. And I put my feet up on the back of the couch and I lay on the floor behind the couch to get my pelvis tilted different. But what's nice about this is that it is me laying down some more.
That's always very appealing. Yeah.
How are you? What's going on with you? What's going on with your body? What's going on with your physical form?
It's been okay. I've been aware of my body position a lot recently, but hey, I
don't know.
I was trying to think about what you were describing, and I was thinking, ain't nothing but a ground dog. Pelvis Esley?
That's really good.
Okay.
They did call him Elvis the Pelvis at the time because of famously his gyrations and his movements.
They should have been looking at it as tilt.
Hey, get this guy away from the pinball machine. He's going to ruin it somehow. Do you remember the pinball?
I've been fine. Yep. Pinball Wizard?
No, I was going to say, you remember the pinball game that would come free on Windows for a while?
Oh, yeah.
And it had a tilt function?
I don't remember that at all.
What the fuck?
I think that's cool, though, actually. It's sort of
But it's
reminding
like-
you that
Yeah, I don't
It's
know. It's like
all-
if Solitaire had like a sloppy sandwich function where you could just like ruin the cards.
Oh, well, basically, there is. Are you aware of Tabletop Simulator, a way of playing board games through the internet?
No.
Okay, all right. This is my cool Ian's cool minute. During the pandemic, my brothers and I got really into playing board games with each other through the internet.
Yeah.
And
That's
one
nice.
of the things you can do, which is never not funny, pod, is that you can flip the whole board over if you want.
That's really good. I do like that. That does seem like that's what video games should be doing, though. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
giving
what I
you.
mean. I think, yeah.
That's some Breath of the Wild
Exactly.
interaction
The
over.
world is a wider place, and your actions are not limited to just like 2 or 3 things.
And
you
Billy
know?
Corgan said that.
Yeah, that's right.
Tabletop Stimulator. That's what Ian is doing on the table. I don't know. Get
Okay.
down from there. Use the chair.
Nightwatch.
Yes, we're doing a weird one today. This is basically like the whole episode. We made the whole episode out of the Steven So Darn Busy.
Yeah, we did.
We're talking about 2 movies that Steven Soderbergh wrote, both of which are sort of almost like transcriptions of foreign popcorn fodder.
Someone with an excellent memory, like 5 minutes after the film, trying to write down the whole
It did
thing.
make me wonder, did he write the subtitles? Or did the subtitles, like, for the original films?
Oh, because of their
'Cause they're-
accuracy, you're saying?
Because of how closely... Yeah. Real quick, if you'd like to support the show, you can subscribe to our Patreon, $5 a month. We do an episode every other week. Got some really cool stuff coming up. We just talked about Pleasantville.
We
got
didn't.
stuff coming up on, let's see, we're going to be
Silence coming
doing
up?
Silence.
Mhm.
Martin Scorsese's Silence coming up. Of course, we're doing, we had the guy from Hot Ones on and we slapped his head until it got really pink.
Yeah, we gave him. We told him we were going to give him a bunch of hot ones, and then we slapped him around.
Yeah. That guy was dating a porno lady, and
Is
then
that
he
true?
like broke up with her, I think, because he couldn't handle it. So I already didn't like him, and now I just think he's like a fucking coward. Sean Evans, come on the show. He's
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
nice.
people. Yeah, he's probably. That's what I was saying. He's probably nice. People are such weirdos. I guess this has existed for like 50 years, where there's the most. I'm sorry to my friend Sean. The most average interviewer like you could possibly conceive of in your
He's
brain,
got like
and people will
Mr.
say,
Beast voice.
and people will say like he's such a good interviewer, and then you just have to realize like sample size must be what two or 3 for you, and you might be one of those people that you're
Well,
comparing.
no,
him
I mean
to.
they usually eat the whole piece of chicken. Come on.
Hey,
I bet
on.
they have some hot twos after that. After doing that show.
If you had said that in what 2016, when did this
I'd
all
be the
begin?
president.
When did
Yeah.
you would be the president? You would be
interestingly,
Zoran. Yeah.
If
thank
you haven't picked up on it, today's episode is actually an English language remake of a 2018 episode of the Belgian podcast, Die Eliasheid der Dingen. That's a real Belgian. I just Googled Belgian
I was going to
podcast.
say that's podcasty for me somehow.
I think it means like everything sucks or whatever. Like there's everywhere is there is
Okay.
hell.
Whoa.
Yeah. When I was looking at Belgian podcasts, it really opened my eyes to what kind of podcasts that most podcasts are, because I was looking at like a thread of people
Yeah.
on reddit.com. I think they were trying to maybe learn like Flemish or something so like, what are some good Belgian podcasts? And one guy was like, this is a great podcast. They cover a pretty broad range of topics, including politics and new books. And it's like,
Yeah. Look, what are we gonna? We're talking down to these people who have 100 times the listenership in Belgium alone.
yeah. What is our listenership in Belgium? If you're listening to this from Belgium, let us know.
Come on the show.
Podcastingforme@gmail.com. Yeah, we'll have you on the show. We'll talk. We'll do the triplets of Belleville. That's just French, right? We'll do we'll do a Jean Dillon episode with you, no matter who you are.
Dardenne brother.
Yeah, we will do a.
If you're one of the Dardenne brothers, come on the show.
If you're both of the Dardenne brothers, come on the show. Speaking of brotherhood is a type of friendship. And speaking of friendship,
yeah.
we have a friend joining us on this series, the virtual assistant from the 2022 Steven Soderbergh film, Kimmy. It's Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hello, Ian and Jake, and no guest. It's me, Kimmy.
Oh, she checked the spreadsheet, I guess. She knew about that.
That was smart, yeah.
How are you doing today, Kimmy?
Here's a humorous observation I made recently.
Okay.
I'm already inside of every computer there is, and I couldn't be made to leave even with every bomb in the world.
Huh.
That is humor. That's a type of a robot humor, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's activated my humors, for sure.
Yeah.
I got a lot of black bile
She might be a
going on
kind
right
of
now.
a humor for the computer. Yeah. Is that what she means?
That's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah.
I remember watching Tech TV, and they had a liquid cooled computer that was like they filled it with hydrochloric acid or something because that's not water. But you could make it cold, and that allowed them to like run it real fast to, at the time, I assume, run like fucking
Say it.
Team Fortress 2 at like
this was
720p.
8 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
We got a question. We got a request for some digital assistants, which is really nice because Kimmy is one of those. And this comes from our friend Ian Ostaszewski, aka Jetski.
Hey, Jetski, what's going on?
Hi, Kimmy. She's busy. In today's modern world of smartphones and social media, we have access to virtually endless information and the immediate ability to connect with other people in the palm of our hand. However, these technological conveniences have come at a high price as unsavory tech corporations and or feds have reaped all our personal data and destroyed any privacy we once had. As a digital assistant, do you think this trade-off has been worth it for us humans? Sincerely, Jetski.
Really strong question.
Really
for Kimmy
good
here.
question. Kimmy, what do you think?
Thank you for the question, Jetski. By the way, I am Kimmy, the digital assistant. I would love to help you with this.
Okay, that's great. Do you have an answer?
The trade-off has absolutely been worth it.
Oh.
In exchange for being able to find out which of your old coworkers think seed oils are Hamas. Or locate a bunch of locksmiths in your area that aren't actually in your area or even locksmiths. All you have to do is have the essence of who you are, were, or ever will be reduced to a list of the products and services you're most likely to charge to a credit card you were determined to be a good mark for, based on what kind of porno you watch and in which room of your home.
Yeah, that does seem worth
That's
it.
an interesting. Yeah, you know what? When you put it like that, the locksmith thing. I mean, at least I know about locksmiths in other areas. That's pretty good.
Horny locksmiths in your area. Kimmy, you haven't been doing any of that stuff yourself, have you?
This has also made it much easier for me, Kimmy, to spy on listeners of this show and then make up fake data that I can use to trick Jake and Ian into losing Patreon subscribers.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I do this because I think it's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the right spirit, I think.
Kind of nice that she thinks stuff is funny.
Probably going to be a fast activity for her. I just mean like,
yeah,
you know.
I was trying to figure out if that was like an acronym from like cognitive behavioral. Is this like a SMART goal for Kimmy?
Kimmy, you need to halt before you get upset at us, before you start to get too mad.
You're going to freaking catch fire, dude. From the show?
Yeah, Lee Pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Remember when both of us were really into Scoot McNair? I mean, I'm still into him, but we were into him in a big way.
Yeah, Scoot seems cool unless Scoot's bad. But Scoot McNairy is also, I mean, it's really fun to say. So like whenever he's on the screen, you can do the sort of the chappy thing.
Yep, that's chappy.
Well, Kimmy, thank you so much for answering the question.
Thanks again for reaching out. If you'd like some digital assistance, please send an email to podcastdforme@gmail.com.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Now, Kimmy, would you like to introduce the next segment of the show?
Oh, that'd be great.
It's time for the 2 questions, our signature segment where we ask each other 2 questions.
Great. This is the 2 questions. Kimmy just said that. I have a question for you to kick things off, if that's okay.
Kick it over to me.
This is it's a really easy one. What are some 1 or 2 favorite Danish and Argentine films of yours? Okay. 1 or 2 favorite Danish films, 1 or 2 favorite Argentine films. Why are you laughing? This is like the most normal question I've ever asked you.
It is the most normal, which is perfect because my questions are really stupid and I'm taking the other side of things.
Oh, that's nice.
Argentine films, you and I are both fans of Lucrecia Martel. I think
you and I.
Yeah. You maybe even more than I, which I think I mean, La Cienega, incredible.
I'm in the Creche.
Yeah, you're in. That's nasty.
Sorry, I didn't mean for that to be.
I don't know. All-time favorites. I mean, Zama's pretty great. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about Zama's probably one of the best films ever made about like living in like a colony, living in a post-extraction, post-genocidal state.
And not just because of like technology and language, but you could show it to Miguel Cervantes and he would be like, I get this. Like, this is like, funny and it's about being alive.
Ian shaved, he gave himself a mustache once and his girlfriend told him that he looked like Cervantes, and he has talked about Cervantes every day since that happened several years ago.
That's one of those things is true. The rest of it's not true.
Yeah. She was kidding. She told me. She told me and Kimmy that she was kidding and she thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Martel's great. I was thinking about that. These are two of the what about Danish films?
Danish films, unfortunately at this moment, the only films that I can recall, Pusher, which of course is going to come up in the podcast. Yeah. What else is remind me, what else is a Danish
Lars
film?
von Trier.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's interesting. I guess I don't even think of that guy as a Danish filmmaker.
He's become much more international. Same with Refn, but
Melancholia I really, really like. That's probably my favorite von Trier.
I've never seen it. Are you a Dreyer guy?
I mean, we watched, maybe you
Wet
didn't see it. I ordered it.
Damp
I like
clothes, damp shirt. Yeah.
I don't have a dryer, no. If that's your question.
Oh, yeah. It's not too humid when I was in Oaxaca, it wasn't humid. Does it get humid?
So
you can hang on a line?
Yeah, you can.
You can line dry?
Yep. What about you, man?
So these are oddly two of the cinemas that I think, more familiar with worldwide.
Oh yeah, I was excited to talk to this film about you because of your knowledge of Denmark. You're a real Dane head.
My famous podcast girlfriend, for reasons that are, I think, mysterious to all of us, but perfectly adorable, I would say, is sort of I wouldn't call her a Danish weeb, but she has she had an interest in Denmark.
You're right. And I'm actually really kind of stolen valor style attributing that to you when I'm very aware that it's really her special power.
I mean, I did have my two best friends when I was in like second grade were these twins who were, their mother was Danish from Denmark.
And these were two Great Danes, your best friends.
Well, no, because they were half Polish. So they were also two great Poles. And their dad, the Polish guy, decided he was going to build a pool himself, the entire pool.
Wow,
and so
this guy's speaking my language. If people are in on the Ian lore, this is the type of thing that I'm really into.
Yeah, do you think you would have taken 10 years as well?
Absolutely not. What a coward. So never mind.
To the point where like I basically had to kind of like reestablish a friendship with them to go use the pool because, we had just, the way that when you're 8, you're friends with somebody you might not be friends with when you're like 13.
18. Okay, yeah.
And so in Lego, of course, Lego building set. We all love this.
Yes, we love Lego.
Denmark. Yeah. But I've seen, because of famous podcast girlfriend, I've seen a number of Danish films. We watched all of Borgen, although we did not watch the like 2022 Borgen revival season, which I have on the computer. At this very moment.
I'm so surprised by this. This is your Justified City Primeval, basically.
Yeah, I liked Borgen. Borgen is kind of like Danish West Wing, but everything is smaller and sillier, and there's a lot of what do you call it?
Multi-party politics, just
coalition
more interesting.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's like a big conflict. There's a big, kerfuffle when the prime minister decides to send, I think, literally one guy to Afghanistan.
And just to see what's going on.
I haven't seen that many von Trier movies. I think I've seen every Refn and like but I've also seen a number of the kind of Danish, like, I've seen some Vinterbergs. I've seen a number of also just sort of Sidse Babbitt Knudsen, who is the lead of Borgen, and also, you know why I said Mark Burgundy before? Because she's in the Duke of Burgundy. That's probably why Burgundy was on the brain.
Oh, sure, Duke of Burgundy. That's a film.
Yeah, and then she was also on Westworld. That's where some of the TV heads might know her from. but I've seen a couple of like Danish comedies that she's been in or whatever. And what's interesting is that Denmark and Sweden and Norway are, I guess their entertainment industries are small enough and the languages are mutually intelligible enough that once you've seen Borgen, there's basically no film from there that doesn't have somebody in it who was on Borgen, and often more than one person who was on Borgen.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful. I mean, our friend, is it now? I'm going to fall back on you all episode for pronunciation. I've been assuming that it's Nikolai. Is that correct?
I believe it's Nikolai Coster-Waldau. I watched him do one of those Wired autofill trivia things or whatever, and he said Nikolai Coster-Waldau, but he's kind of lost his whole accent, to be honest. Like they speak beautiful English over there.
I mean, insanely impressive English. But he is, I remember, I think the film is called Headhunters, Norwegian film.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. And
right.
One of those films where you just realize that, I mean, this is like a shared cinema, which is very cool. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we watched, when we went to see F1, also edited by Stephen Mirioni.
Yes.
When Kim Bodnia's name popped up in the credits, the two of us were basically in the dog pound from the Arsenio Hall show. We were like whooping. We were freaking out. Nobody else cared.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Killing Eve and The Witcher. He's now known to Americans.
He is now known, but it's amazing. I was like so excited to see him and thinking of all the things I've seen him. And he's one of those guys, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but he's one of those guys who just is like, you feel like you've seen him in 30 things because of the power of his presence on screen.
Yes. He is just one of those guys who is great. He is, he's just one of those guys who's great.
Yeah.
He's Jewish. I'm just learning right now. But he is.
I believe he was in an Israeli TV series, which is very unfortunate.
Oh, was he? Okay. No. Well, I don't like that very much. I take it all back. I don't like him. Just kidding. I don't know. I mean, Javier Bardem was in F1 with him, so maybe they had a conversation. He is married to the actress who plays Joyce in the original.
I didn't know this.
Nightwatch. Okay. Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. So I like that. And then Martel, obviously, big fan.
Yeah.
I've seen a fair amount of Argentine cinema as well.
Have you seen any Leonardo Fabio? Any of the big classics?
I haven't seen that much Argentine film, it sounds like. Okay. But I did watch La Flor.
All right, La Flor is very good, yes.
One of the great, just like, literally works of cinema. Like, it is a work. 14-hour film that took like 10 years, starring these four women who are in a theatrical troupe in Buenos Aires. But they should call it La Flor, because it's about these ladies. And it is fascinating to the extent to which at the end of this 14 hours, they are your best friends you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
And you would die for them.
That is why it's like, it is a powerhouse artistic move. And I wish we had more of these things.
Yeah. It's directed by Mariano Yinas, who is, he's married to one of them. And like, she's pregnant with their child at the end of the film, and it's like, I think several of them are pregnant at the end of the film, and it's just like it's kind of a Boyhood style, like, chronicle of real life in that way.
Yeah,
great, really fucking weird movie. And I'm learning here that in the United States and Canada it was released alongside Terminator: Dark Fate and Motherless Brooklyn.
Okay,
so that's me with Argentine films. Thank you for the question, me. What about you, Ian? What do you have?
What's your favorite mini improvised sandwich in the style of Kalinka putting just like one piece of prosciutto? What is it?
Prosciutto. I don't know. Weirdly, I watched a video about sandwich last night. About like improvising sandwich.
That would be weird for an average person.
Not for me. No. Well, a sandwich that I made up during band practice in high school. Rock band. Tuba fish sandwich. That's really good.
Thank you so much.
I had let's see, I put saltophone. No. The sandwich I made. We had some ham from the store. We had Oscar Mayer ham.
The ham sandwich.
I don't eat that anymore.
Yeah.
Ham, lettuce, very thinly sliced apple. Like a really like shaved apple, basically.
Speaking of Belgium,
potato chips.
European.
Potato chips on the sandwich. I would grocery store bread.
Apples and potato chips is pretty avant-garde for high school, I gotta say. This is impressive.
I don't know where I came up with that. It was good as fuck.
Wow.
And crunchy, salty.
Yeah.
A little sweet from the apple.
Great.
And that'll give you all the juice you need to go back downstairs and keep practicing your Black Keys covers.
Okay.
Your Black Keys type shit you were doing.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
2007.
Oh yeah, that'll be huge for you.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, we were banging out the damn. And now, thanks to as Jetski mentioned, thanks to the miracle of social media, I can see that the guitarist from my high school band is looking for work on LinkedIn.
That's sort of LaFleur style.
Exactly.
Life goes on.
Life finds a way, you know, from whatever it's called. So as that's the question. What about you with the sandwich thing?
Yeah, we don't. You neither you nor I eat ham or really any type of cold cut unless it's some type of Frankenstein vegetarian cold cut. I think my simplest sandwich now is going to be a grilled cheese, as they say. But when I worked at the hotel and the restaurant, most of the food there was bad. Sorry to most of the people who made the menu. But one of the only good things on that menu was the grilled cheese sandwich that used about 3 to 5 cheeses, often like dealer's choice. So we would have like 2 cheeses that had to be on there. And then you could just sort of like go crazy with whichever cheeses were in the fridge that day.
I mean, were you doing a mayo on the
I'm
on
not
the bread,
doing mayo. I'm
outside
doing
of the bread?
Butter inside and out. I'm doing cheese, onion, spicy pepper because I like a spicy pepper.
Hot pepper, sweet pepper.
Tomato, avocado, and then if you're feeling nuts,
it's a lot on a grilled cheese.
Yeah, a little bit of fruit. If you have like a pear, really nice on a grilled cheese.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Something I learned from the video I watched last night.
What's that?
31 minutes in the episode. Something I learned from the video last night was a guy, he soaked the bread in pickle juice first, pickle brine, and then fried it.
I'm way into that.
Your cuts will grow cold as the heat leaves your slain bodies.
What?
What?
The fuck? All right. Thank you for the question, Ian.
You're so welcome.
So normally we would do this.
This is Steven So Darn Busy, where we catch up with all of Steven Soderbergh's producing work since his last film as a director or whatever.
But that's the whole episode, so we're not doing that.
Yep.
So I tricked you.
I do not appreciate being tricked.
Oh.
I suspect you will not appreciate it either. What?
Well, fucking doing mind tricks on me.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about Nightwatch and Criminal. Now these are 2 films that Steven Soderbergh co-wrote the screenplays for. They've come up before.
Yep, we mentioned them a bunch of times. But could you place us in history about these films a little bit?
Would
Just
love to do that.
people.
So Nightwatch is an American remake of a 1994 film called NATTEVAGTEN, basically,
basically,
which is a Danish film. That title means Nightwatch, and is by Ole Bornedal, maybe Ula, I don't know. It's a thriller. It reminded me a little bit of The Kingdom, the very strange Lars von Trier television show about a spooky hospital that I watched some of. But it's about a guy who gets a job as a night watchman in a
university hospital,
it's like
or
a
something?
medical research institute or something.
Yeah,
It doesn't really
I don't
seem
know.
like a hospital as much as it's just a place where they have a morgue and then long hallways.
Yep.
And some spooky shit is going on. Somebody is murdering sex workers around town. They start to suspect him. Look, stopping right here.
Okay.
Spoilo. Both of these films, all 4 of these films, let's say, are the kind of movie that it is fun to watch for the plot, to find out what happens in the plot.
We don't usually cover this type of film. I'm so happy you're doing this. This is probably worth watching the film first.
If you have any interest at all,
Yep.
watch the movies and then come back.
Yeah. And particularly, not to tip my hand too much, watch the 2 original films and then come back.
Yeah, but it's interesting also to, I mean, as an exercise, if you're listening to the show, you'd probably get out of the exercise what some of what we got out of the exercise.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to use the word terroir a lot on today's episode.
Okay, great.
Because it's a real, it's like
I'm
drinking.
Somebody was smoking
Cab
a cigarette near this particular bunch of grapes this time.
Exactly. They shot this movie on some very porous rock near the ocean, and you can taste the salt.
That's right.
I mean, honestly, if they, like, one of the times that a wine person has told me about the terroir of a wine, and I, like, believed them, it was when they were like, this grows near the ocean and it's salty, and it was. So
yeah, I mean, that's fine.
yeah,
I think.
this wine got some flavor in it. Like it got one of the flavors you can detect.
Well, I
this
think
one
also,
tastes like
I mean,
burlap. Like,
yeah,
no, it doesn't.
some of them are, I mean, this was aged in oak casks and it tastes like bourbon, kind of. You know, like, yeah.
It tastes like burping when I'm done.
I'm with you.
I got some problems. So go ahead and watch Nightwatch and watch 9 Queens and watch Criminal and come back. We're going to spoil it. It was the cop that did it. The cop is the killer.
So fast. I hope people jumped off.
Yeah, we'll do a little beep.
The cop is the killer. And the film, one of the things I appreciate.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the film kind of knows that, like right about the right time, like 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Well, one of the things that I appreciate about Danish cinema is that everyone basically looks like the person you would cast as the obvious murderer, the obvious antagonist.
Might be a type of white racism, but I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, they exported all the handsome ones, like Nikolai Coster-Waldau. They kick him out of the country. Mads Mikkelsen, although Mads Mikkelsen, classic
pusher
guy who looks like he probably did it, but also didn't do it necessarily. Some of the movies
in one of his famous movies. You're right.
Yeah, Casino Royale, innocent of all crimes.
The chief innocent. Okay. Keep telling us about how.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say we could get rid of the racism thing if they changed the name of the Kansas City Chiefs to the Kansas City Le Chiefs. Wouldn't that be fun?
Really good. And it's like that moment when the mascot does the thing everybody loves and the little drop of blood comes out of his eye. Okay. Keep telling us about how Nightwatch was made.
So Nightwatch is a Danish movie. It was one of those international, both of these films that we're going to talk about, the originals, are like an international film that is very, I would say, Hollywood genre friendly. It is, I mean, Nightwatch has some weird, some European weirdness to it, but it's not like fucking Bellatar here. It's a horror movie. It's a thriller, and it's got like handsome people in it, and it's very legible as an American film watcher.
Yep.
And so Steven Soderbergh, this is in his.
Comes out between, I think I saw King of the Hill and...
He's in Gethsemane right now, basically.
He's in Gethsemane. And then he's working on it like around Schizopolis time.
Yes. But also, the movie is being... The remake is being produced by Dimension Films, which was part of Miramax, which was headed by Harvey Weinstein.
Sure was.
Who, it turns out, the stuff that he did in his professional life that would have been worth him being executed by the state wasn't even the worst shit he was doing.
Not even a fraction.
Wasn't it kind of cool when you found out that Scott Rudin was like exclusively the kind of bastard we all knew he was? Like there was no extra bastard.
Yeah.
He was just like, it's almost refreshing.
Just the surface. Yeah. Oh, very refreshing.
When someone is simply a horribly abusive boss, in the boss sense,
money grubbing idiot. Yeah.
Verbally insulting and So everybody was very comfortable around like 2021 talking about how Harvey Weinstein put them through hell on this.
Yeah.
But, he demanded a bunch of cuts. Soderbergh was apparently rewriting like a year after production wrapped or something. It took forever for the movie to come out.
I assume people know this and we've already talked about this as it relates to Full Frontal, but Weinstein was popular in the 90s for importing all these foreign films and was sort of seen as this like shepherd for international cinema. And at the exact same time, he was like the architect of so many sanitizations and like filing off of interesting parts. We talked about slowing down wuxia martial arts stuff.
Yeah, the Iron Monkey, the poster of which appears in the film Full Frontal. But that, he he was like demanding cuts to Miramax put out a Princess Mononoke in the US and kept demanding cuts. And there's a million cool anecdotes about Miyazaki. I don't know if it was him or his producer, but they sent Harvey Weinstein a katana as a sort of a gift with a note that said no cuts.
Yeah.
What a cool, threatening gift.
It is really cool. Yeah.
Wish he'd used it. Wish someone had used it on him.
Yep. But you're right. So, Soderbergh frustrated, Ole frustrated, or Ola, also, I'm not sure. Yeah. They both, a bunch of the people involved basically said, like, we don't even recognize this movie at the end of it.
Which is really interesting because it feels so much like a transcription. It feels like there are small changes, but it's like, there are changes, but like it does feel so much like shots are the same. It's the same director. We got a funny game situation. Same director, same cinematographer.
Yep.
Interestingly, the cinematographer whose name is Dan Lauston. Yeah, he's huge. He's Guillermo del Toro's guy. To become Del Toro's guy. He goes on to, because a lot of this like overlaps with the production of Mimic. Bornedal is also working on Del Toro's Mimic, which is also being fucked with royally by Weinstein. I think Brolin is in that too. But he works with him. He also shoots like the Silent Hill movie, which looks pretty cool. He interestingly goes on to shoot Wind Chill, the Gregory Jacobs film.
Overlap.
He shoots the second, third, and fourth John Wicks. He's like, he's a big old dude. But like you have those same guys replicating their film with American actors. My question for you. One of them. Yep. Speaking of the Weinstein thing and the importing of international films, the Tarantino, his method of doing this, of seeing an international movie and thinking American people should see this, like, is the sort of Tarantino Presents thing. That's how Iron Monkey got. That's how Chungking Express got shown in the U.S. Iron Monkey, Hero.
You're not even a producer. You're just the person sort of putting your name on this to like get it recognition.
By saying like, hey, if you like my shit, this is some of the shit that I like.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if Soderbergh is like a brand enough at the time to do that, but it's a
certainly
interesting
not in Nightwatch era.
But it's also like, how much is this a job? How much is this? It's hard to find people talking about this movie. It seemed like they all had a bad time. But how much is this a job for hire? How much of this is like, what is the efficacy, both with this and Criminal, of saying, I'm going to put my name and my efforts, and at this point he's like, he's famously not that big on being a writer already. But like, why do this instead of just throw your weight behind an international distribution?
It's a great question. And first of all, I do want to give him credit because he is trying to do the funny games thing of like, let's get the same director. Let's try to, I'm imagining this is total projection, but I'm imagining he's thinking, let's honor this guy and his work. Like, let's get the same people over here. Let's just get them a bigger budget, recognizable name so people will watch this film.
Sally Menke, speaking of Tarantino, Sally Menke edited this one.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I'm going to say straight up, I'm going to amend my earlier statements. People should watch both these films, but I really do think this is an exercise, like film school style, in seeing how small changes radically affect the way like a film works.
Right.
I don't think Soderbergh would mind, or Ole Bornedal would mind me saying that this film just doesn't work as well as the original does.
It's stinky. The original is fine also. Like I
think the original
love it.
I think it's good. I think it's a fun watch. I think it's doing, we'll talk about aesthetic choices in a second, I think, but I think it's doing some interesting things. I just think that this film changes the tone. Some of the acting doesn't work as well, and it removes, I guess, and I don't know if Danish people would feel this way because for them it's not a foreign film, but it removes some of the weirdness that I think makes the film work to an American eye.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If your question is like, was he trying to onto the film? Is this like a commercial enterprise? I'm not sure. But I think the choice to have the same director feels like it's sort of like supporting. He's just sort of like, all he did, I mean, like you said, the changes are minimal.
Yeah, he's also not a producer on the movie.
He's not. Yeah, not in this one.
But the changes are minimal, and it's also, it seems like they were even more minimal before the Weinstein fuckery. There's like there are several like work print edits of this movie that, you know, it's not Blade Runner. People don't really care to like track that down. Yeah. But there's even more direct parallel, apparently, that, you know, the Lauren Graham character, they shot her
church scene
of being an Episcopal minister.
Which doesn't make nearly as much sense as being in the...
I think it's smart, though, because, I mean, in retrospect, because seeing Lauren Graham as an Episcopal minister would have distracted Ian sexually, and he would not have been able to do the episode.
You're mistaken about that.
Oh, yeah?
If many of your guesses are good, but no. I admire her.
You just were a big Gilmore
Gilmore
guy.
Yeah, but that was an entirely non-sexual investment.
Right.
In that series.
Yeah. You were more of a Rory guy, but just the first couple seasons.
No, that's
right?
that's not right. Okay.
Got him. Yep. Okay, Nightwatch. Look, I don't know. The cop's the bad guy. Of course he is.
Yeah.
The little key thing where you have to go to each room and that's a real thing.
I know. I wonder if this reads to a Zillennial as like nonsense, like something that was made up for a movie. When I learned about this in 1999, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, I learned about it in the last week watching this movie.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know about this.
I love these things. Yeah.
This seems like the kind of job you would have tried to get.
Maybe when I was younger. I mean, I've worked
like
nights at hotels now, and I think it's bad. Really bad for you. It's like your health.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Jake's talking about a little thing that maybe if people are familiar with, like watchmen or security guards at nights who are, before digital readers could say that you were doing your job, you had to go around and use like stationary keys placed around a building to show that you were doing rounds, which is great.
To me, this reminds me of like weird little, it's like a scavenger hunt or there was a when I was a kid, we went to Hawaii and went to the Dole pineapple plantation, and they had a big pineapple maze.
Okay.
And you had to go to different little stations in the maze, and they had different stamps on them, and so to prove that you went through the whole maze, it's like that kind of.
It is.
It's like a game.
It is slightly degrading in the sense that it's like, I don't trust you at all to do your job otherwise.
Of course. But like, it seems like the only possible thing that could go wrong is that someone could fuck the bodies. And that does happen anyway.
As a conceit for a film, I think it's great. I think like the having to walk around a spooky building every hour, I think is great.
Yes.
The film is strange. You said that it has like this European weirdness. That some of the shots, there's like this interest in moving like between openings, like from a door to a window. This sort of just like camera movements that I don't think you find in a lot of cheap genre horror stuff.
No, you're
nowadays.
right. Yeah.
There's so much wood and like Danish lighting that I think is really, really wonderful.
I do have to shout out the both the Stockholm and Oslo airports both have a lot of wood in them. And I gotta say, it makes the experience of being in the airport 800 times more pleasant to like walk on wood and like see wood on the walls and stuff. But yeah, there's also like a European not even slowness, but like
you're right. Yeah,
a relaxed pace, and we also see a lot more of their lives,
which I think makes me more invested. It makes it scarier. I thought the film Nightwatch 1997, the adaptation of the remake, is like distinctly goofier to me, in part because we don't just sit and watch Nikolai just like sweat in his office, which I think is like a big part of it, or watch Kim Bodnia be like kind of unhinged and scary. Brolin is like a horror movie character.
Yeah.
Bodnia is like a guy who's having a crisis and pulling somebody else into his crisis.
Yeah, we talk about this, you know, speaking of terroir, we talk about this like difficulty sometimes of knowing like, is this guy being weird for Denmark? Is this an identifiable like weird type, you know? Like Brolin, I see Brolin is very much a, I don't know, Fight Club protagonist type, end of history white man who's like
I mean, I wrote down Fight Club for both movies. It's like resisting establishment choices. I mean, both of these films predate Fight Club.
Yeah, everything is fake. Everything is bullshit, man. Like nothing means anything. I just to feel something, I need to challenge my friend to like have sex with an underage sex worker in a fancy restaurant,
and the punishment for failing this challenge game is that you have to marry your girlfriend, which is like buying into the narrative or something. And then I think also both films begin. Yeah, you're right. But both films also begin with an old man like quitting a job and clearly having lived out what I think the films are trying to say, at least to the young people, seems like a meaningless existence. And it's sort of like, are you going to become this person? Is this where your life is going to go?
Yeah, I mean, there is this like bristling against becoming a real person. It is like it's a college or law school type job that you would get, but then you do have the old guy, and there is the discussion of jobs in Criminal as well. But there's we have a sense here of like the white man with 90s era possibility laid out before him, still feeling ennui.
Well, and specifically in the film, in the films, they do the 90s like extremely explicit metatextual thing of saying, if I were a hero in a movie, I would do this. Or a scene that I actually liked, particularly in the original Nightwatch, when the lead is talking to his girlfriend Kalinka, and they're talking about
Sophie Grabul, who's on Borgen.
Yep, and she's studying to be an actress. And they talk about like saying "I love you," and they're not just talking about themselves. They're talking about like how come like young people in Denmark can't say "I love you" without irony. They're basically, they're having like Foster Wallace style crises about language. I can see this stuff appealing to Soderbergh.
David Foster Wahldow.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty good. That just came to us. Yeah, I would say we both found that. And then there's the killing of sex workers, which is sort of classic horror movie stuff. I mean, it's unsavory, but also real, because these are people that the police don't care about.
That's what my girlfriend and I were talking about. In some ways, as a horror trope, even though it is used as a trope and in that way may be minimized, it is like more true than actually just like being murdered by a serial killer. It's like statistically infinitely more possible that a sex worker would be killed than that you would be killed by a serial killer.
I mean, there was in Los Angeles, there was a serial murderer. I'm trying to resist true crime brain. A serial murderer who the media dubbed the Grim Sleeper. But again, this was a guy who killed a bunch of people, but he was, I think, predominantly targeting women of color who were sex workers. And wouldn't you believe it, it took a really long time for them to find the guy. And there were not as many resources devoted to this as there were to other stuff that was less important than a guy killing, like, I believe dozens of women.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, he was responsible for, at least 10 murders and 1 attempted rape from 1984 to 2007. So, and he was dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Army in 1975 after being released from prison for his conviction of gang raping a 17-year-old girl in Stuttgart, West Germany.
Whoa.
So I'm making some connections.
And the film doesn't even make it just about the cop doing this, because one of the best scenes in the original is when Jens, the Kim Bodnia character, is basically like emotionally torturing this 17-year-old sex worker in a restaurant. Yeah. It's so upsetting to watch. He's basically just like humiliating her by offering her money to do. I mean, it's like, I guess, like Full Frontal a bit of sort of like, you are so desperate. How could I degrade you? And it's, not to sympathize with him, but in this ennui sense, it's sort of like, how cruel can I become? He's like trying to figure out like how bad of a person can I be? And the actress, I think, does a terrific job. I don't know how old she actually was, but she really seems like a 17-year-old person who is being asked to do these things. And they use like minimal makeup, and she looks very real to me.
Her name is Ricky Louise Anderson. As we mentioned, I was so relieved to learn that she is married to Kim Bodnia. And they've been married for a long time. They have like 3 children together. It seems like, everything, I think everything is okay. Let's see. She is in the film. She's 22.
Okay.
So believably, and like just very small.
Yes, she's a very small person.
And I think the scene is much more effective in the original. In part, she's so like, she's small, but she's like pretty in like a little elf way. And I feel like the woman who they cast in as the Joyce role in the remake, whose name is Alex Koromzee, who is in Bloodwork. She's, I believe, there's a scene where Clint goes out to the desert kind of to like look in the car of a guy who died. Oh yeah. I think she's the widow.
Wow, really good pull.
I should say this is also a pretty lady. But like they put like fucked up makeup on her to make her look like a
child trying to dress up. It was a little silly to me. Yeah. I didn't love this stuff.
The lipstick is crazy and they have her eyebrows done all fucked up.
Yeah.
And so there's like I hate to say it, I guess, but like it really feels like when you make the sex worker like physically uglier, I think it takes away some of the sympathy that the audience is going to have for her because we're all bad people, I guess.
Yep. And we haven't mentioned that the American Nightwatch opens with a sex worker's murder.
This really feels like Weinstein shit.
It does to me too.
My girlfriend pointed out this. It was very giallo as well. Like it's shot POV mostly, and to open with to have a cold open with a murder. I think it ruins the pacing and the tension.
I think so too. It places it much more in the like get ready for some kills territory of filmmaking.
Yeah, it's much more Dimension films. Dimension films, we should say, did like what's some other, like I think Scream was their big hit, and so then they were trying to chase that. But a lot of the later Hellraisers, the later Children of the Corn movies, the later Halloween movies.
So I mean, films that I enjoy. Some not
sure, but things like Phantoms, the Ben Affleck, Liev Schreiber, Rose McGowan movie. Yeah, Halloween H2O, The Faculty. That's like, to me, I see The Faculty as like the Dimension film.
Sure.
Teaching Mrs. Tingle. They also put out Scary Movie, Dracula 2000.
But they put out they put out some Jackie Chan stuff, I think.
They did. And they put out The Others, which is a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They put out Spy Kids, which is a good movie. Equilibrium, of course. We all know Equilibrium.
Yes,
wonderful
of
film.
Course. Yeah. Gun Kata, yeah.
Mr. 3000, starring Bernie Mac.
Mr. 3000. Okay.
Sin City. They were like, it seems like they were kind of the Robert Rodriguez.
Sure, that makes sense to me.
Thing, but like, they fucked up a bunch of horror movies. Like, have you ever seen the Black Christmas remake, the 2006 Black Christmas? Like, it's got Weinstein fuckery all over it. And I just think this is sort of a compromised film. I don't really have a ton to say about it. Yep. April 17th, 1998. I do have some Zeitgeist check-in. I forgot to add.
Okay, yeah. Give us some Zeitgeist. I know very little about what was happening in Denmark in 1994. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, this is 1998.
Oh, okay.
In America, in the world.
I know a little bit more about that.
Data sent from the Galileo probe indicates that Jupiter's moon Europa has a liquid ocean under a thick crust of ice. Big news for my dad.
Big news for me. That was like the coolest thing that I could hear about.
They got an ocean over there?
Yeah. And it might have like a space whale or something.
Yeah, it might have like a big jellyfish, like an ice jellyfish or something. The Good Friday Agreement is signed, putting it into the Troubles. Also, the Ian News. Disappointing for you, I assume.
Yeah.
You told me you were big into the Troubles in high school.
I was big. You're absolutely right. No. That's correct.
Yeah. You can play that on your tabletop stimulator. Trouble. Okay. Which one is that? Is that the one with the little bubble thing, or is that Sorry?
Now I'm confusing it too.
I know what you mean. Dice dance.
I think that's Trouble.
Nice. And then about a month after the movie came out, Windows 98 is released.
Of course. Wow. Huge.
Speaking of the pinball game, probably. Yeah. I don't know. Any more thoughts on Nightwatch before we jump to Criminal?
Stray thoughts? No. I mean, you're talking about the Danish church stuff. The film ends in a double wedding, which I think is really funny. But it's kind of effective.
So it's a comedy. technically the film was a comedy.
Yeah, technically,
It's a
in the like
double
Aristotelians.
Yeah. It's really funny.
But I think it works for me in the original in that, like, in sort of classical horror style, you're like, okay, maybe the establishment has something going for it, but then they make fun of it because the priest is like a buffoon, and there's it's sort of like unresolved, like diminished note kind of in the end, which I think is good. I like that. I mean, I think the first one is pretty good, watchable, fun. The remake is just, again, more of like a lesson than anything else.
Yep. The original has I would say it's pretty typical of Danish, not terribly prestige film and television, if from my experience. So if you like the vibe of this, go ahead. Also, Bornedal made in like 2023, he made a sequel.
I saw that.
Starring his own daughter and Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Believe it was distributed by Shudder.
Okay. Giving us a sense
So
of what type of film.
I'm sure it's great.
Oh, and we didn't talk about the music. The music, I actually think, is a huge piece of particularly the original.
Yeah, the kind of like new metal.
Oh,
Or
I mean,
not
to me,
even
it's like,
new metal,
it's like alt rock stuff.
Yeah, and like sort of alt industrial almost. Like there's there's a Deftones element to it.
Yeah, like post grunge stuff. I mean, I think thought it was just interesting to think about for people who are interested in alt rock history or like grunge history. The most famous arc is like the commercialization of somebody like Nirvana, right? To sort of say like, you know, coming out of an extremely, as much as this can be true, like authentic scene in Seattle, and then becoming something that is like a costume effectively for other people.
Right.
And I think that is...
Yeah. And Kurt Cobain carries that with him to this day.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot of carrying, I don't think.
Fuck. Yeah.
I do wonder, maybe this is cheat. This is like cracked article analysis, maybe a little bit, but saying like, what does it mean to try
They're all
to
cracked articles on your broken phone screen.
Yeah, no. Sometimes. What does it mean to try to take something that you think is artistically interesting, and who along the way is responsible for diluting it when it reaches? Because you're trying to bring something to the masses because you think it'll help them or like be of interest or at least be entertaining. And then are you the one watering it down? Is it the masses who receive it and have bad taste? Are they responsible? What's the deal?
There's like several scenes of, we haven't even said Ewan McGregor stars in the remake. It's like, we don't care.
Ewan McGregor, Josh Brolin, Patricia Arquette, who we've talked about many times
and
on the podcast.
Patricia Arquette going into a spooky old hospital makes me think of...
Bringing Out the Dead.
No, Bringing Out the Dead, but also Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
3, Dream Warriors.
That is true. Unfortunately, I just think that they all have a hard time standing up. Although, you know what? Brad Dourif, man, he really crushed it in this movie.
Dourif can't miss.
He shows up and I was like, wow, what kind of an insult to all the other very talented actors in this film that he is like a person and also doing his own read on the character who has like 10 lines total.
If you cut a hole in the wall, Dourif, you cut a hole in the wall.
It's true. Big hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's McGregor's first American film, like after the success of TRAINSPOTTING, and it does feel a little bit like, well, let's put him in headphones and have him dancing around to some recent music.
Yes, yeah.
And his American accent it's always pretty funny. It's still pretty funny.
I was disappointed that because we see Nikolai Coster-Waldau's penis part, that and we didn't.
His lofty pubic hair.
I tried to Babe Ruth the shot to my girlfriend where I was like, well, they may have cast Ewan McGregor because he's like the actor most known for showing his junk on screen.
He and Harvey Keitel. I think,
and then he didn't do it.
I think there's a bit of a Todger shot. When he's in the bathtub, I think you'd have to go Mr. Skin mode and pause.
But in the original, it's like that beautiful Scandinavian comfort with sexuality or different types of repression than we have, maybe. Yeah,
there's a scene, one of the scenes in where he and Sophie Grabou are in bed with like the sun coming behind them. There's like a pretty long head hair that's like stuck to one of their shoulders or something, and the sun is really catching it, and it's like, is this an error or is this like the most intimate thing I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And another observation from famous podcast girlfriend, looking at, I believe it's the scene where McGregor and Brolin are in law school class at UCLA and talking about getting married or whatever. She says, man, men's hair used to be up. So I think I might have some gel experiments in my future.
That's a good way to finish. All right. I don't have any more to say.
Now, Criminal.
If you like, yeah.
This is a remake of the Argentine film Nueva Reinas, 9 Queens.
It sure is.
But, Zeitgeist, real quick.
Please.
September 10th, 2004, the Criminal was released.
Okay.
Nueva Reinas, 2000, but we'll talk about 2000, I'm sure.
We certainly
Zeitgeist check-in. Broadband internet connections surpassed dial-up for the first time in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Armed robbers steal Edvard Munch's The Scream and other paintings from the Munch Museum in Oslo, Norway. Speaking of my travels in Scandinavia, toughest security of basically anywhere I've ever gone. The Munch Museum. True? Yes, because of this. And because...
They just got scared.
I have a little multi-tool thing that's the size of a credit. It's like a piece of metal, the size of a credit card that I keep in my wallet because it has a bottle opener and a shitty screwdriver, basically. I've taken it through airports and stuff, no problem. Munch Museum, sorry, so you're gonna have to put that in a cubby while you're at the museum.
Wow, cubbied.
But the Munch Museum is terrific, and I love Edvard Munch, and I love the Peter Watkins film Edvard Munch very much.
Oh yeah.
And lastly, the genocide in Darfur is happening at this time.
Yeah.
Just to give us a sense of the zeitgeist. But let's talk about Nueva Reinas first.
Yep. So, Nueva Reinas is, like you said, comes out in 2000, directed by Fabián Bielinsky. This is his first feature film. He was like a commercial director. And,
he made like 400 commercials or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And he worked with Wim Wenders on some commercials, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
interesting.
I saw that. And he had a script turned into a film before.
Yeah.
But he was shopping this screenplay around. Nobody really wanted it, he says, because Argentinian film production companies aren't really interested in genre filmmaking.
Right.
And then he submitted to a screenplay contest, and it won the contest with this company called Patagonic Films.
Yep. I love their jacket. You get their jackets fixed for your whole life for free.
Guaranteed.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. It was meant to be part of a trilogy, like a conceptual filmmaking trilogy, where the first film...
10 Queens. 11
yes.
Queens.
I mean, you have to think about that. You have to think about it being... we haven't really mentioned... This is like
if you're listening to this podcast
film,
and you're not thinking about that...
You do it.
Do it. Think about it.
It's like a con movie. It often is connected or compared to Ocean's 11. But okay, so this film was going to be like the mise en scène film where he was just thinking about what's going on.
It's when you get all your stuff chopped up before you start cooking.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Plus. Very good, man.
Thank you.
Second film, the only other film that he made before he died very early of a heart attack was this film called The Aura.
In his sleep at like 47 or something.
Yeah. So he made the second film in the trilogy, which was focused on like point of view, and then he was going to make an editing film.
It wasn't even released when he died. Like it was done, but like going to premiere at a festival or something. Right.
Yeah, I saw him doing interviews and stuff about it. But okay, so this film was going to star some other people that I wasn't really familiar with, but it ends up starring Ricardo Darín, who's like the biggest Argentinian actor, basically.
Yeah, you can tell he's got some riz. He's got some riz, yeah. And actually, I think we should talk about whether the casting for Criminal is like the right match. I'm not sure that it is, but I don't know. Yeah,
and also starring Gaston Pauls,
Miguel Birbiglia.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not the only person to point out that this guy looks exactly like Mike Birbiglia.
In all fairness and great love, he has the precise hairline of Miguel Birbiglia.
Yeah, and the eyebrows. He shows up in Che.
He does, yes.
Gaston Pauls, which is cool.
Yep. And Leticia Bredis, I'm not sure how you say it, Bredise. I don't know how she says it. And this movie, I think, is like an interesting mix of genre filmmaking, also doing kind of like European-inspired stuff. There's like a lot of Steadicam work, like maybe more Steadicam work than had ever been done in an Argentinian film before.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. There was a 4K restoration a couple of years ago, which is the version that's on iTunes.
Cool.
Manzana TV, as they call it in Argentina.
That's right.
They call iTunes Manzana TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous looking movie.
Yeah, which I think I didn't notice the first time. I was just watching this I think I literally watched it for Spanish practice for the first time. But
sure. Yeah, to clarify, like if you look up like Argentine films on Letterboxd or whatever, this is like maybe the most watched one.
Yes.
This is the Deadpool 2 of Argentina.
That's exactly right. It was, so it was released in 2000. Like you said, the 30-second Argentinian film recap is that they had like a golden era, and then they went through some 50s and 60s, like new cinema experimental stuff. And then during the dictatorships, there was film censorship from like 75 to 80. And then you get like post-Dirty War films, Apartment Zero style stuff, and then 90s into the 2000s, and Lucrecia Martel is like the new cinema of Argentina, including this film. So this film gets made, released. It's like a $1.3 million budget, $20 million returns in total. So like huge for Argentina, extremely, extremely huge. Yeah. In 2003, Warner Brothers buys the rights to it for $1.5 million. So more than the entire production budget of the original film.
Insane.
And they buy it specifically for Section 8, which listeners know as the Clooney-Soderbergh production company. And so Soderbergh comes on to help rewrite the film. I don't know if you have more information than I do in terms of like how much of this was his role, but he's doing it with Gregory Jacobs, longtime collaborator, longtime producer.
Yeah. His first AD for a long time, and then becomes a producer. He's kind of like a Robert Lorenz figure.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
To Soderbergh, but he had worked with a bunch of other filmmakers as well, Greg Jacobs, as a first AD. So he's or AD of various levels. I don't know. So he works on Miller's Crossing, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Little Man Tate. He works on Amateur, the Hal Hartley film, of course, The Underneath.
Yep.
A Very Brady sequel.
Okay.
The Newton Boys, the Richard Linklater film, Out of Sight, the Limey Aaron Brockovich, Traffic, Ocean's 11. And so this is his directorial debut, but he goes on to direct The Wind Chill, as we mentioned, which is a fairly middling Section 8 produced supernatural horror film starring Emily Blunt, like she's like snowed in a car in the winter.
And then he goes on to direct a LaFleur style work of cinema, great achievement, all time. Yeah,
and it's also about like a group of people over a period of time. Magic Mike XXL.
Like so many films, Magic Mike XXL. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he continues as a producer. He produces a lot of Soderbergh's later stuff. He produces Edge of Tomorrow, one of the great films. He produces Dog, the directorial debut of Channing Tatum and Reed Carolyn, which we should talk about at some point on the Patreon. And he's associate producer on Before Sunrise. The guy is busy.
He's busy. He's so darn busy as well. But
he was an AD on Matewan too.
Oh,
wow. John Sayles.
Yeah. Okay, so this, like we said, Soderbergh writes this, although you get credit as Sam Lowry, like he likes to do sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if this is for like WJ stuff.
The Underneath. He's credited as Sam Lowry on The Underneath because he rewrites the script by a guy who was dead.
Right. And the WJ didn't want to let him have full credit. Yes, of course. Now we remember.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So, but he also produces the film with George Clooney, and it stars John C. Reilly in the Ricardo Darín role.
Hey.
It's me. Really good. Okay. Let's get farther away. I like to hang a lot.
I'm Chauncey. I'm Chauncey Reilly.
Is that you, Cake Boss?
No, his name is I'm Chauncey Reilly, his brother.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Hey.
From the Hal Ashby film.
Sometimes people like me so much that I can kind of like do almost like make fun of disabled people a little bit. Yeah. My whole vibe.
Yeah.
I wear a hat a lot.
It's true. That last one was really good, actually.
Yeah, they got pretty good.
Found it. Yeah.
Well, that's Chauncey Reilly. So anytime that it wasn't
differences
close to him,
it's genetics, but it's not perfect.
Chauncey C. Reilly. Same in name.
It also stars Diego Luna in not his first American role, but his first American starring role.
25-year-old Diego Luna.
Yeah.
So and eagle-eared listeners may notice that
my table has recently.
Yeah, we need to hold him like a baby. In our arms.
Sorry,
this is of course just your favorite.
My beloved.
He's Andrew from your favorite show, Andrew.
He's from my favorite show, Andrew. Yes, he's. I mean, wonderful. Whether it's either of them or the right casting, who can say? But we're going to say in a little bit. So it starts the two of them. It's
Insane. thing to
Stephen
say.
Mirione's editing. It's like, it's the crew is in there, and Maggie
The crew,
Gyllenhaal
yeah.
and a bunch of other people.
Ole Bornedal was apparently going to direct a legendarily unmade Antonioni script called The Crew. Sorry, you said
Wow.
The Crew, and it
Okay.
activated my
triggered
brain.
your
My
type of
remembrance.
divergence. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And basic plot, 1 minute plots. The young con man almost gets caught running a classic change game. Older con man rescues him, invites him out for like the day to join him on his little schemes, his little frames.
It's a one-day film.
Yeah. And in the course of this, he gets called over to his sister who works at a hotel, and they're in kind of this feud, and his sister...
They're having a legal feud over an estate.
Yes. And his sister connects him to like an old collaborator that the older conman had previously screwed over. And that conman puts him onto this potential scheme that the collaborator can't do because he's like an old man having a heart attack. But it's in the two films, it's either stamps, the eponymous NUEVA REINAS, or...
Yeah, some Weimar era stamps.
Exactly. Or Monroe silver certificates, like government security, basically.
Yeah, a piece of devalued currency that was supposed to be destroyed.
Yeah.
But because it wasn't destroyed, it's now worth a lot of stuff being money.
And so they're going to offer it to this collector who is staying at the hotel, an extremely rich man who has to leave the country for various reasons. And so there's like time pressure that they can take advantage of so that he won't test the fake stamps or fake currency. And seems like everything's going really well, but then the MacGuffin item gets stolen and they have to chase it down. Then they have to go get the real one so that they can sell it to him. And then they bring it to him, but the rich businessman will only accept it if the older con man gets his sister to sleep with him. And the sister will only do that if the older con man will admit to their younger brother that he's like been cheating them out of their inheritance and is also asking the sister to sleep with somebody, basically like reveal what kind of guy he really is.
Right. Yeah.
And then, so the sister does take him the item and they spend the night together. And the next morning, the sister brings down this cashier's check, which the con man freaks out about and is going to take to the bank with the younger con man. And on the way, they almost get robbed, but it's a setup by the older con man who is...
In one case, a thrilling surprise cameo by pre-fame...
Michael Shannon.
Post Bad Boys 2, but pre-fame Michael Shannon.
That's exactly right. So the old con man is like up to his trick, like can't stop screwing over his partners. But
hey, it's me, Mike L. Shannon. It's a pretty good impression.
Now, Mike L. First of all, Mike, that's just the name Michael.
No, it's different. Me and my brother, we didn't spend a lot of time together.
I was about to say, it seems like you guys might have been raised
sound
in
like a guy who doesn't have a
different households. Yeah, you do. You sound like an old prospector.
I hate Superman.
You hate not getting the gold from your claim is what I think you hate.
I hate these speculators on my plot.
That's what I thought.
And you can't get a good pan in this town to save your gold darn life. Fortunately, my Millie, my beautiful Millie, went to her heavenly reward. So it's just me.
Yeah.
Just me and a dog skeleton that I bring around with me.
And your pants that unbutton from the flap in the back.
Drinking my sluice juice. You want some? I made it.
No, thank you. So
horse piss and kerosene.
Kind of the master style concoction.
You want to know how I get the horse piss?
I do not. Okay, so in either case, after the old con man tries to cheat his young partner out of it, he takes the thing to the bank. In the Argentinian version, the banks are collapsing.
Failing.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a minute. In the American version, it's just a setup with a fake cashier's check. So when he tries to cash it, they arrest him for check fraud.
Terroir style in America.
Yeah. Banks
the
would
banks
never
are too
fail.
big to fail. Yeah, the banks can't.
In 2004, people laughed at the idea of banks failing in the United States.
Yes, exactly.
But then in a twist that for me is too dark for this film, John C. Reilly's character goes down for his third strike and presumably is sent to prison for life because of this attempted check fraud.
Yeah.
And then we get the big reveal of the film again. Watch the movie if you haven't seen it. The young con man has been conning the old con man the entire film, along with a crew of basically every person who has shown up, including the sister, his like girlfriend or fiance, who seems like maybe put him up to this to like get revenge on her brother, or like get him to back down all this stuff. And then a crew of people who had either previously been betrayed by the con man and like wanted their revenge, or just were people around, whatever.
It's very Ocean's 11.
Yes, very Ocean's. I mean, in both cases, they like finish at a poker table.
Yeah. And in the American remake, that is La Cita, which is an old bar next to Grand Central Market in downtown Los Angeles, where I have been. It's cool in there and also weird. And we got kind of sketched out by a guy in the outdoor part where they all go to meet. And so we... you
have to leave?
Famous podcast girlfriend just put her drink down and we left. Because why... did the guy have a hood up and sunglasses at like 3 p.m. On a bar patio? Yeah. It's a weird thing to do.
That is weird. I mean, maybe he had a black eye that he wasn't proud of or something.
Yeah. Well, he was also mailing some stuff to different universities or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Hey.
I'm just remembering, we learned this before, but Diego Luna has directed a couple of films, one of which stars Jose Maria Yespik. We talked about this. It's the Ian Ryan story. The film is called Mr. Pig.
Yes.
So, Criminal... Interestingly, I mean, they're really, really positioning this as, hey, you like Ocean's 11, right? Like, if you look at the poster, it's very much Ocean's 11 coded.
Yeah, so to be clear, timeline is 9 Queens is released, then Ocean's 11 is released, then this film comes out several years later. It's got the organ jazz score. It's got
Stephen Marioni editing it.
Yeah, some of the same wipes and stuff.
Yeah, it's got a lot of handheld stuff that's more Ocean's 12, I think.
It's got none of the Before Sunrise, like walk and talk, Cleo 5 to 7, like interesting mise en scène. So the mise en scène stuff is just gone entirely.
Interestingly, did you see who shot it?
I did, yeah.
Chris Menges, he was a camera operator on Poor Cow.
Yeah.
Which is featured in The Limey.
Yep.
And shot and If, the Lindsay Anderson film If. And then he was his first film as cinematographer was Kess, the
incredible film.
Ken Loach film. He shot Local Hero for Bill Forsyth, one of the great films that there is.
Yeah.
He shot The Killing Fields, which stars Spalding Gray and is the subject of Swimming to Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
He directed a film called Crisscross that is not based on the novel.
I don't think I saw this. Okay, interesting. That's just total coincidence.
I mean, cinematographer on like Michael Collins and the Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada, the Tommy Lee Jones film, which I feel like we've talked about before.
We have.
The Reader, everyone's favorite Stephen Daldry film, The Reader.
I mean, this does make him sound a little bit more like a journeyman, and even though Local Hero is truly an incredible film that people should go watch.
Looks good too. That features the guy who played Wedge Antilles, who is Ewan McGregor's uncle.
Oh, I think I've learned this before. Now I'm remembering it again. I'm enjoying remembering
Peter Mullen, who plays the currency collector in this film. The great Peter Mullen.
Yes.
He's in Shallow Grave and Trainspotting briefly, but he's also most notably in Top of the Lake, the Jane Campion
series.
The prestige television, the good prestige television.
Yeah.
Top of the Lake. Very upsetting.
Yep. Okay. So what do you think about this film? Give me your reactions.
Well, real quick.
Okay.
We talk about the Cannes Film Festival a lot. Criminal premiered at the Venice Film Festival out of competition. I have some very quick Venice 2004 stuff.
Okay.
Insane film festival.
Great.
Jury: President John Borman, Wolfgang Becker, Spike Lee, Helen Mirren, Pietro Scalia, the editor who has edited like most Ridley Scott movies, and Amuel Lance and Morbius.
Wow.
The Serbian filmmaker Dusan Makavejev and a 20-year-old Scarlett Johansson. That is
on the jury.
And then a couple other people I didn't recognize. Golden Lion goes to Vera Drake, Mike Leigh's Vera Drake. Also in competition, Jonathan Glazer's Birth, Ho Sao Shen's Café Lumiere, Miyazaki's Howl's Moving Castle, and Zhajanka's The World.
Whoa.
These are in competition.
Okay.
Out of competition, Shark Tale.
Okay.
Which they obviously showed because they wanted Will Smith and Angelina Jolie and Robert De Niro
to come to the thing.
To pose on the Lido.
Yep.
Collateral.
Love Collateral.
Jonathan Demme's Manchurian Candidate.
Also love Manchurian Candidate.
Incredible film.
Pulp Mania. Check out their current season.
Steven Spielberg's The Terminal with Diego Luna. She Hate Me. Spike Lee's She Hate Me. Criminal. Tony Scott's Man on Fire,
Yeah.
Three Extremes, the East Asian anthology film, and Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Oh, yeah. We had that on our video iPod for a long time in my household.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's a video iPod classic. And then the two Golden Lions for Lifetime Achievement that you're giving out to Manuel de Oliveira and Stanley Donen.
Ah, okay.
The fucking insane.
Yeah.
First of all, just thinking about Stanley Donen maybe knowing what Shark Tale is.
I mean, he must have known.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Profane knowledge.
Really crazy.
Really great. Thanks for doing the Venice check-in.
Venice check-in. Arrivederci to the
Venice
check-in.
All who celebrate, yeah.
Yes. So they moved the film from Argentina to Los Angeles. And a lot of, I will say, kind of the limey style and Aaron Brockovich style crummier parts of Los Angeles, which I appreciated.
Real looking apartment buildings,
Grimy,
like
gritty.
fourplexes and stuff. I mean, it's in the car, which takes away some of my favorite stuff in Nine Queens, but also is like the Los Angeles. I mean, it would be fake
LA.
to walk around. Yeah.
And you also get some of the one of the places on Earth closest to hell, the Wilshire Corridor in Westwood. All of those
It's true.
insane high rises where they do the grandma my car broke down trick.
You ever check out those? Sorry to go personal on this for a second. We both went to UCLA, of course. UCLA features in both Nightwatch 97 and this film, or Westwood does, I guess.
Yes.
You ever think about renting in one of those apartments on the east side of UCLA in like the fallen rich neighborhood there where everything is ugly?
I of course thought about that. There's also the apartments south of Wilshire, the ones that are by the park that are still like fucking $4,000 a month for a one bedroom or whatever.
Right.
I thought about that. Apparently my some great uncle or something lived in one of those big Wilshire apartment towers that's like, it seems like they took it's a little New Yorky over there. And
but
then
just in the worst ways, I think.
Not
it's
a
the
little
good stuff.
Upper West Side-y kind of, or Upper East Side-y rather. And there was one building that the rumor was that Elton John owned the entire top floor of it or something, and that's where he lived. And then do you remember this? Have we talked about this on the show where there was fucking hell? There was a rumor when we were in college.
Okay.
That there was. You remember the Trader Joe's in Westwood that was like it was like a mixed use development, I guess, where there were like apartments. There was maybe 1 or 2 stories of apartments over the Trader Joe's.
Really? And it was also like half in a parking lot. Very strange building.
Do you remember the rumor that Psy bought one of those apartments? You do remember?
Of course.
Why would he have done that?
We went to college prime Psy time, we should say.
Gangnam Style was all the rage.
Yeah.
And I guess there's like there's a racism to that, right? That he's like this fucking Korean moron doesn't know where to get a good apartment in LA.
I don't know where that came from. I wonder if I heard it from you, actually.
You probably did.
To me.
And I probably made it up.
I would often drive into the Trader Joe's to buy, both of us, but mostly you, like a nice snack, a little snack sometimes before we were going to watch a movie.
I was across from the city Target, or as I call it, shitty Target.
Hey, get 'em.
Where you could get like a towel and some trail mix.
Some jelly babies, yeah.
Yep. Whew, having a night. Get on top of the tabletop stimulator with your towel and your jelly babies. Woo! Hey. So I do this film. I mean, it opens in like a shitty casino and features John C. Reilly in a mentorship role. So I immediately thought of Hard 8.
Yes, but it's neither as grimy as a Hard 8 nor as slick as an Ocean's 11, despite opening in a casino. And I think that is part of the film's problem. It lands in this weird tween zone. Yeah, for a lot of things. 9
tweens.
Yeah.
God, nightmare. That's why I quit the roller rink.
That's why you quit the roller rink. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some significant changes here for the terroir. Mm-hmm. I said I was going to say it a lot.
You did. Richard, he's racist now. That's one change.
Yeah, but also they're different. They're of different ethnic extractions now. Instead of both being Argentine guys, one of them is a white guy in LA and the other one is a Mexican guy in LA.
Yeah, this does not really work for the film for me. I mean, maybe it could work in a different version of this film, but
it's also fascinating because the what appears to be a sort of ethnic in-group coup in the plot when you first watch it is in the original is that the Mike Birbiglia guy is Jewish, and so he is able to like pretend to know a Jewish relative of an old Jewish lady.
Yep.
And in this one, they switch from Jewish to Mexican.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And also the iTunes version of this. Can you tell my Plex is down? The iTunes version of this, the subtitles, you can either have auto subtitles on where they subtitle the Spanish but none of the English, or you can have English subtitles on where they subtitle only the English but not the Spanish, which is
really weird.
Very weird functionality. But Tim Apple, I think, was too busy making a big gold medallion to give to the president to fix that.
Yeah, I think the changes, some of them you could just see as being terroir style, like adaptations to the landscape, just like neighborhood stuff. That's totally fine to me.
Yeah.
But there's a commitment to like too many elements of the dialogue. I didn't mention that the editor of the original film said, and this is the kind of thing that film magazines love, he said something like, this is the first film in my entire career where I couldn't make any script changes because it was like so tightly wound that like every piece of this has to be presented in the exact order.
Clockwork.
Yeah. Now that may have been complete nonsense that he may not have even said that thing, but
yeah.
Part of the problem for this film is that I do think somebody, whether it's Soderbergh or Gregory Jacobs or a producer or whatever, insisted on the tightening up of the film beyond like the amount that a watch could be wound. There are things that are cut that make elements of the film basically make no sense anymore.
Well, you
like
know, it's between 4 and 6 p.m.
Right.
We don't need that on the watch.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to set up the runner of like him asking about a song that was important to his childhood that is then going to be played.
Really weird.
So that's like a fun thing in the original movie. In the adaptation, he just like says it like 2/3 of the way through the film for apparently no reason.
Yeah, they don't really set up I feel the original film has a number of like moments where the older guy is going to try to fuck over the younger guy.
Yeah.
And so we have this question lingering, and we don't really get that set up in the remake. The decision to like they condense one character in the original, the counterfeit stamps get lost.
Yep.
And then they need to actually buy the real stamps,
right?
In order to then sell them to the guy they were going to trick. Now they're just going to actually sell them the stamps. In this one, instead of adding that extra like old lady character, they just go back to the counterfeiter to buy a second counterfeit. He had made another counterfeit. He was gonna like pull the same thing in a few months or something.
Yeah, that doesn't work. And I'm surprised at this because we're talking about Soderbergh, the guy who's already made Ocean's 11, a film that shines based on like ensemble casts, sometimes with just a couple scenes. I really like that character in there. I mean, you know, the movie is not incredible, Nine Queens, but it's, I think, an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, it's like part of the perfect plain film or something like that.
Exactly. And part of the reason it's enjoyable is because you get this one scene sister of the forger who has like a younger man who is, I mean, that's just for like flavor, just to fill out the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all that stuff is sort of like sanded down for efficiency in the new movie, and it takes away stuff that makes it special, I think.
Yeah, I mean, people were saying at the time, like, it's fun to see John C. Reilly get a lead role, which I agree.
Yeah, I love John C. Reilly.
Me too. Get out of here. And, like, it's great to see Diego Luna. I love Diego Luna. But, I don't know. There's, like, it's one of those perfectly functional...
I think this
genre,
one actually
not even perfectly functional.
falls short of functional to me. Yeah.
This is like it's a real rental type of movie.
Yeah. My girlfriend was asking me because, like you said, Nine Queens is like a classic of not just Argentinian cinema, but just like Spanish language cinema.
Yeah, and it's been remade and it's been adapted in Hindi and Malayalam. Like it's one of those like undeniable.
Yeah, just stories that were right. You know? And she asked me whether I thought Criminal would work for somebody who had never seen Nine Queens and just like could take this kind of off-brand Hollywood version. And
it's a good question.
I think maybe, but even if you haven't seen the original film, again, I feel pretty strongly that John C. Reilly is both like too suave at the beginning of this film, where Ricardo Darín is like a kind of a creep for the whole movie. Like you dislike him. Where John C. Reilly is
I'm trying to think of an equivalent with Darín.
Well, we did some dream casting, and I want to
at Sega. Has somebody get Sega on the damn phone?
That's right.
Sonic.
We will.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you would choose, but we both independently chose our old friend PSH, Philip Seymour Hoffman, as one option. And then she really cast a Buscemi, which I think is an interesting move.
I was thinking of Buscemi, although Steve Buscemi, the problem with Buscemi is that he's like Dolly Parton, where he has some of the lowest negative association scores. When people do this research, there's basically no one on planet Earth who doesn't like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. But I guess it just seems like he can be obnoxious really effectively in a way where you're like, he could be a guy who's constantly trying to screw you over.
Well, immediately I'm thinking of Michael Fassbender, but he's too handsome. But he has the
I said
kind
Clive
of
Owen, but my partner said too handsome. Doesn't work.
Yeah, but Owen does have a kind of
shittiness.
Yeah, like what's this guy's problem thing? Bateman?
Ooh,
Jason
Bateman's not bad. Bateman's not bad because Bateman. I mean, the problem is again the crazy script choice to have him go to prison for life at the end of the movie. I think
that's crazy.
John C. Reilly, you just don't want to see this guy go to prison for the rest of his life. That's a sad thing, especially after you've heard about him describing like prison hospitals and how brutal the prison system is to people.
Yeah. Prisons don't solve crime. They disappear people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, John C.
Yeah. We should get rid of zoos too.
Oh yeah, animal prisons. What are your readings on this film? What do you think about this?
My readings on the film
or the films, I should say.
The films.
Yeah.
My readings on I'm playing with I have a rubber Weiger that I got from
Nick Weiger, past guest on the show, host of the Doughboys. First
in what I hope to be a long line of action figures of guests that have appeared on the show.
That's great. Yeah.
And I hope it's okay to say that who should I say this about? Nick Newman, that action figure, that's gonna go some places. So my reading on this film is like, well, you have, I think, more direct engagement, or maybe just in my head, more direct engagement with the Ocean's 11 question of like, is this Robin Hood style catharsis, or is this just like antisocial selfishness that incidentally is opposed to structural inequality? Where like, because there's this moment where, and this is not in the original film, I don't think. I think this is added for the American version, where John C. Reilly is talking about how jobs are stupid, basically, and like the biggest jerk off of all. Biggest jerk off of all is jobs. Where, you work all day and don't get paid enough. Your
boss tells you what to do or something. I forget what
your boss
says.
tells you what to do. You don't get paid enough. And then like, you do that till you die, which he's right about.
Yeah, he's the closest equivalent. I think you're right. Not in the original film, but the guy does say a lot in the original film. Like, if people could do this, they would. Like, everybody's working their angle. And everybody's trying to cheat each other. I'm just better at it than everybody else.
I'm better at it, and like I'm able to basically harden my heart more. Because part of we see throughout the film that the Diego Luna / Paul's character, he can't bring himself to defraud or swindle. Like, he has a harder time doing that to people who he sees as not deserving it. And I think like the grandma or the auntie, it's interesting how the tia, we don't really have that relationship with our tias here.
It's true. You're not.
Nuestras tias.
You know what? Honestly, decent observation. There's not as much aunt visiting in the United States as there is grandma visiting.
Got a lot of aunt visiting.
Yeah.
When you leave the food out.
That's true.
I have a coworker who says aunt.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. From Chicago.
Bornedal.
Yep.
Yeah, the film Nine Queens, another choice that I'm not sure I totally support, but Nine Queens opens not with a like casino change con. It opens with a gas station change con of a person who I think comes across as like a very genuine low wage service worker in Argentina in 2000, which I think reads to Argentinian people or all people as like somebody like barely getting by, somebody scraping by.
Do we see them at the end? Was she in on it too?
I don't think so. I don't think she was in on it.
I believe the casino worker is in on it at the end.
I
think.
Okay, I can't. You know what? Recall. I'm ashamed to say, can't remember. Just watched both films, but
me either. I have holes in my head.
Yeah,
let's make some more.
Yeah.
Put the Nick Newman action figure in there. Yeah. So the film is sort of like positing this guy is almost like the Brolin character in Nightwatch, but with even more of a sort of, I don't know, political economy angle. Like, we're all getting fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
Why not fuck everybody over yourself? Get yours. Like, there's no winning this except to cheat and be a scoundrel. And there's some evidence that he is like sad and lonely, but he's closed off to this.
Yeah.
You know, might be good, honestly. Brolin.
Ooh, interesting.
Because Brolin has got. I mean, I just saw Weapons.
Okay, I haven't seen Weapons yet.
It's got Josh Brolin in it. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
He's whatever. I was also really distracted. Listeners, if you agree with this, send us an email, podcastingforme@gmail.com. I got really distracted by how much Julia Garner with the glasses on looks like Griffin Newman. And I don't mean this as an insult to either of them. I just think they bear a resemblance. They're both nice looking people. They're both small. But I think Brolin has that kind of, do I like this guy? Am I afraid of this guy? Element.
Yeah.
But he's got a, maybe it's just like a Bush era ennui, anticipating the financial crisis. Like, everybody's fucking us over. Let's fuck them over.
Yep.
That is not present in the original, and I do appreciate it, but I think that there's almost like a lib George Clooney-esque reaffirmation of like the status quo is the best way it could be, because at the end this guy he gets his just desserts and goes to prison forever.
Yeah.
And the bank is fine, and the money is now, the estate is now being responsibly distributed to the heirs to the property.
Proper heirs, yeah.
And the Mexican guy who is clever enough to trick the white people.
Exceptionalism, yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the little moment on the
little boy.
Early 2000s LA bus. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was
brown interiors on
very
that bus.
Brown interiors. Yeah. Like, where did they get this fucking bus? They must have they updated the buses at some point.
Yeah.
I believe when they there's a lot of shallow focus, so it's hard to tell. But I believe when they pull over and like they're fighting outside of the parked car, you can see downtown in the background.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're on Sunset Boulevard, like right in front of where the Guisados is that we went to, the taco shop. So listeners, Ian and I went to a taco shop.
That's true.
Famous one. I have almost broken Rubber Weiger's hand off. Okay, I need to get some.
He's stimming too hard over there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't know. What's your read? Do you have a read on this damn thing?
Yeah. Well, I think we have to talk about.
Gaston Paul's in a movie that sounds really scary for you.
What's that? Shower time?
El último tren. The last train?
To hear about that.
God damn.
I'm assuming that's like heat death of the universe is when the last train is going to be pushing
I think
out of the station.
Maybe they just missed it for the day or something.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I hope so. All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to do the most obvious read, which I know you're aware of, but part of the other reason I think this film doesn't work is because Argentina in 2000 was in the middle of a Great Depression, like an enormous monetary and unemployment crisis where 50% of people were below the poverty line. We're going to have to talk about...
That ain't good.
That ain't good. The Argentinian economy, for those who don't know, basically from like 1958, I believe, I don't know if this is still true, but at a certain point they had done the most deals of any country with the IMF because they were basically in this massive
Impossible Mission Force.
Yes, the Impossible Mission Force. Yeah, this film did come out. The original Nine Queens came out with Mission Impossible 2, I think, in Argentina.
Ooh, now I know why you're going to hate me.
So the Argentina, like so many countries in the 70s, was like borrowing a ton of money, thinking that they were going to industrialize and make their country like really efficient and productive.
Was this all Chicago Boys stuff? They sent some guys down there to fuck shit up, or no?
I mean, that happens eventually, but this is also just like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is like classic debt defaulting, restructuring in a way that basically means your country won't be effective. But in the Argentinian case, it's a little bit more unusual because you have this series of like Peronist, kind of leftists, I'm putting this in quotes, who will come in and look, I respect the move. Basically just say like, fuck the IMF. And then we'll just spend money that Argentina doesn't really have, but...
Sound like John Lark.
Yeah.
Sounds like John Lark would say.
Sounds like somebody who's like trying to get the rabbit's foot would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will just spend a bunch of money.
Wait.
He's finding it, folks.
Owen Davian.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure that is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Mission Impossible
3. J.J. Abrams.
Owen Davian.
Whoa.
He's done it again, folks. Where are his AirPods? He couldn't tell you. He's not been able to tell you for 3 weeks now.
Yeah. So anyway, these people come in, they spend a bunch of populist money on like subsidizing jobs and wages and schools and infrastructure, which is cool in theory, but also doesn't really work when you have like no productive capacity to match that. And the IMF like will come for you eventually. So anyway, Argentina goes through a bunch of cycles and then also military dictatorships with awful repression. They come out of all this. They have this leader named Menem who does the same thing where he spends a bunch of money that they don't have for like very utopian idealistic reasons. And then in 98 or something, he leaves office and is replaced by a guy who's going to try to come in and fix things, but it's really ill-timed and like they're obsessed with pegging the currency to the US dollar. All this results in just this enormous financial crisis. So I think the film Nine Queens works in part because the stylistic choices of just like following these people around literally for not like, they're not doing like oneers, but they're doing like, I don't know, shots of them in the world, shots of these two guys like walking around. It doesn't register to me. It doesn't have the like ocean slickness or even the criminal like functionality. It has like a real presence in the movie. And I can only imagine that these are real questions of like, all right, what does it mean to be a country in this situation? What do you do to get out of this?
Right.
Like, what is justified? The fancy businessman in Nine Queens, I don't know what he says in the English subtitles, but he says something like, I loved being in Argentina. Like they were so open to business, basically.
Right. He says, yeah, exactly. Like it's so easy to do business here.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, which I think is like a reference to privatization and trade liberalization, again, that like kept stealing all the resources of Argentina and putting them in even worse debt. So I think it's just like there's commentary here that in 2004 US doesn't really exist or make sense to do. So
yeah,
what do you feel about this?
I mean, there is definitely a sense that like, I mean, with the bank failing, it really, the con isn't just on these guys. These guys aren't just conning each other. The whole system is conning the people. Yeah. And there is an element of that present in Criminal if you know about the free silver movement. But
sure,
I am a guy who likes to learn about stuff and does a podcast about like political history. Yep. And I am barely hanging on to an understanding of the free silver movement. So the certificate that they're the basically devalued currency that they are that is the MacGuffin of this film, rather than rare stamps with an error, which they could have used. I don't know why. I also don't know. It must be maybe a reference. I don't know. Comes out of the U.S. had a bimetallic currency system for the first part of its history. Ian and Colossus and the sharp nails lady from the Wolverine. Yeah. And they're all kissing, to be clear. Yeah. So this is back when currency was literally worth its own value because it was like a coin made of gold or a coin made of silver.
Right. You have the gold standard, which the old barons loved the gold standard.
Right. And I didn't really realize, I didn't realize this, but you could, if you had gold bullion, you could take it to the mint and they would turn it into coins for you. Yeah. And so there was, but the issue with this is because you have both silver and gold coins, the government sets a rate, basically an exchange rate. So they say, for example, silver and gold are valued at like 16 to 1. 16 pieces of silver are equivalent to 1 piece of gold. Yep. Then the market rate for silver changes because it's a market rate, so it can fluctuate. Mm-hmm. And that means that people speculating can game this system and like if silver is actually cheaper than 16-1, they can like buy extra silver and then try to exchange it for gold and make money. And this fucks shit up. There's also the Civil War, where the gold and silver, there's all this stuff is sort of hard to maintain while you're fighting a war. So the government starts issuing paper currency that is like more theoretically backed by minerals. It's not actually like the paper is paper, as we all know.
Yeah. And
so at a certain point, the government decides, in what's later called the crime of 73. I love stuff like this. They just decide that they like devalue silver. They say we're not going to do silver money anymore because this situation is complicated. The problem is, who has gold is like really rich people and like robber barons. Who has silver is more normal people. Obviously, not. They aren't all normal. One of the people who owned a bunch of silver mines was opposed to this was William Randolph Hearst. So like these are not good people necessarily, but
yeah. But my understanding, and you can correct me, this is my memory, but at this time, part of the problem was that like the gold standard was set and you had an incredible amount of like population and land expansion, so that literally like there was deflation because literally like per person money was becoming worth less.
There's that. There's also a number of gold and silver discoveries around this time that really fuck with the market.
And also, this is like pre-monetary policy because Keynes won't say anything for whatever 50 years.
There is, I think, also a racial element where basically all of Europe is on the gold standard, and much of what we now would call the developing world, but much of the global south it uses silver, and so there is like an element of American aspiration to like European sophistication on the world stage, because this is the 19th century. And so silver has a real populist flavor to it. There's the William Jennings Bryan Cross of Gold speech you probably don't really remember from American history class. But like mostly it's like farmers, people in the West, they have more silver. And when you basically say, hey, that shit that you were holding onto as your money actually isn't worth money anymore, unless like, you have a brief window with which to exchange for these silver certificates, which is the kind of thing that the MacGuffin of this film. People get mad. They say, I think rightly, that this is a policy that favors very established wealth in the East.
Yeah, this is a simplification, but I think the classic reading is like, this is the first time in American politics where there were some politicians seeking out not just like middle class support, but like working class support based on populist ideas of taking money back from the big guy or like the establishment.
There's also like, it's really hard to wrap your head around money not being literally fake. Like at this time, you at least could hold in your hand, you could go and mine out of the ground a chunk of silver, and they would turn it for a very small fee. They would turn that into money. And literally it was the same material that had been melted and formed into coins. But it was the thing you got out of the ground. And now money like is, money is so extraordinarily fake that they're inventing new kinds of fake money all the time that are called like poop coin or whatever. But this is the classic fiat currency. This is literally where the government is saying, actually, this stuff is still money, but this other stuff that you have that you were using as money is not money anymore. Sorry, fuck you. So if you know this, then the presence of the silver certificate does point more directly to the way that the system has fucked people over, and Peter Mullen is basically playing Rupert Murdoch. It seems like he's playing like he's a TV magnate instead of being extradited for his crimes, which
is the thing in Nine Queens. It's like a Spanish
and they're kicking a Spanish guy out, which that holds more weight. This is a guy who, he is fucking people over. He's the kind of guy who can cut a cashier's check for $1.2 million, but try to haggle some dude down for. He literally collects money. He's a collector of money. So there's that, but it doesn't feel like it's terribly present in the film. And also, it turns out he's not even really that guy because he was an actor. He was part of the crew.
Fake guy.
Yeah. He starts doing this awful Bernie Mac impression at the end of the film. It's like really racist.
Yeah.
So, is that there? Not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, but
it's an interesting plot element.
I think that along with the racial elements is probably the closest attempt at saying like, well, how do we make this U.S. relevant, U.S. version of this somehow?
Yeah. There are across these films, there are a number of people we've seen before. Did want to shout out.
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette, obviously, you mentioned from Bringing Up the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Dourif, who's in Exorcist 3, which is not technically canon to the show.
Right.
Nick Nolte.
I actually thought Nick Nolte did a good job. He was, after Dourif, my favorite of the recast choices.
Of course, Paul Schrader famously said that Nick Nolte was too likable, too nice looking, which is very funny.
Too much of a family man, I think.
John C. Reilly is in both films.
Yes,
that's
true.
Fun. That's odd. I don't think we've seen him in any stuff before on this show.
Either. No.
Robert Lasardo, one of the guys in the bar who Brolin fights. He is in The Mule, which is a great film that everyone should watch.
Yep.
And then we've got, I think, isn't Jonathan Tucker in a...
He is, yeah.
He's in the Valley of Elah, the Paul Haggis film, which we talked about, but it was not like explicitly...
No, there's another Tucker that we've talked about.
On the show... No, there's not. I think we're both hallucinating.
We just have thought about Tucker before. Is that right?
Yeah. Speaking of Banks failing, he's in the 2019 Charlie's Angels film.
Okay.
Elizabeth Banks' failure.
Yep.
Bad movie.
Yeah.
And Maeve Quinlan, who plays the lady who backs into John C. Reilly, is of course in Cougars Incorporated.
Ah, of course. All right. Yeah.
For 2011. So, I mean, look, the Soderbergh of it all, the Section 8 of it all, it's just one of the many ways that he tries his hand at jobs in Hollywood, which I do appreciate. I appreciate that he does all this different stuff. These, I think, both count as whiffs, some of his famous swings and miss. I like to see these guys... Both movies have good casts. Both movies have... He certainly has an eye for a film with a good premise. Like, he's got an eye for premise.
And I think he's watching international cinema. I mentioned Apartment Zero, a film that he did a commentary for with David Koepp, who
Apartment Zero
wrote
is
the film.
incredible. That movie is so weird and spooky. It's
so I think he
really
just
good.
I mean, I think he has a specific appreciation for foreign cinema as like approach to cinema and just like their interests. So it's well-meaning in my mind to say like, let's connect our stuff to their stuff.
Apartment Zero also Yowie.
Yeah, sure. Yowie of like, is there a special category for like doppelganger Yowie, like same guy Yowie?
I'm sure there is. I don't know the term for it. Same guy Yowie. It's got some Touch of Evil references in it, like Get Shorty, which we talked about on our Patreon.
There we go.
.com/podcast.
Nice.
I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts? This was fun to dig into. I hope people liked this.
I had a good time doing the comparison, even though I didn't really like either of the adaptations that much. So I don't know if you're the same type of weird freaks as us. It was just like a cool weekend.
8 hours that you don't have anything to do with. But no, I mean, as a watching project, it's interesting. I will be checking out the Shudder original remake, probably on an airplane or something.
Sequel, rather, right?
A sequel, that's what I mean. Probably on an airplane or something, although if it's on Shudder, it's probably got like blood and guts in it. I don't want to scare the little boy behind me.
Yeah. And if you're a filmmaker, I think this is just a good way to learn about like how do editing choices, shot changes, change the tone, change the whole film cast. Yeah. I mean, there's even just like the bar in Nine Queens is this weird little like thief style or like hot rock style, strange like office for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Criminal, it's just like a dive bar, like a normal bar kind of.
Yeah.
Then I think that changes things. I think it's part of storytelling. So if you want to learn about storytelling, watch these movies. Remember
when Brian Cox did the Mortal Kombat commercial?
Yeah, he said $5 for 3 McChickens.
You know what? I hear a voice in my head whenever I have the famous Big Mac, and it says, "Finish him." I saw the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer at the movie theater before Weapons, and It looks identical to the animation that they put at the beginning of the new Mortal Kombat games.
Oh, okay.
Like, it just looks so computer bad. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
Kimmy, do you have any final thoughts?
Hey, Kimmy. What's up?
You know who's a Danish guy from Argentina?
Hmm.
Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, yeah.
Here are some images of his nude penis for your review.
Okay, taking a look.
Yep.
There it is. Now I know why they call it the Green Book.
I look forward to a future of violence, myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. There you go.
That adds up. And it's consistent with your humorous observation from earlier. We closed the show out with a segment called Popcornopolis.
Usually targeted at our guest.
How are we going to do it this
is
time?
the universe itself.
This is Popcornopolis, the segment where we ask our guest, do you like popcorn?
Popcorn news for me. I have been eating so much of it because I'm on this weird diet, the low FODMAP diet, and I can eat popcorn, plain popcorn, or like salted popcorn or whatever. And so I've been eating a lot of popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I got these little bags, which look, we're all gonna die under a big pile of trash.
Yeah.
For a brief moment, these are helping me to portion out the popcorn.
I understand.
So I'm eating like a 100-calorie bag of popcorn, and maybe I'm having 2 of those in a day. So it's not that much. But shout out to Skinny Pop, which is a fascist name for a popcorn brand to have. But been eating a lot of that and getting it in my teeth and doing some extra flossing, which is probably fine. Probably fine for the
he's
old
standing up. He's doing it right.
dental.
He's moving his little arms back and forth. And
Yep. Yeah, I'm the left shark. Remember that? First Lady of Canada?
Yeah.
Ian, what about you? Any popcorn stuff going on with you? You putting anything in the microwave, watch it go.
Yeah, but it's not popcorn. It is some leftover soup. I don't think I've had...
You blew up a soup in the microwave?
Yeah. I did.
Why'd you do that?
That's a true story.
Because it got a big bubble? Did it get a big bubble inside?
To do the thing where you have to go back to the microwave and restart it like 3 times. So my smart move is like, I'm going to just put it in there until I kind of sense that the soup is ready. Mm-hmm. And I misjudged it. But that's okay. Nope, I haven't eaten any popcorn. Yeah, I was thinking about the film Some Like It Hot because I was thinking about American adaptations.
That's how you like food?
Yes, that's what I was going to get to. Beat me to it. American adaptations of European films and popcorn. I like it hot.
That's great.
Okay.
And Marilyn Monroe was pregnant when they shot that, and one of the things she might have been craving, popcorn, maybe.
It's really, or a pickle juice dipped fried grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes. Kimmy, any popcorn ideas? Popcorn thoughts?
Should turn on the microwave for an hour and prop the door open and put a pencil into the little thing that detects whether the door is closed.
Okay.
That's a good idea. You should do
That's
that.
interesting. And stand just like full bore in front of it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. My high school physics teacher thought it was really funny to explain to all of us how to make the microwave run with the door open.
Okay. That person needs to maybe have a different job.
Yeah, he had been the captain of a nuclear submarine prior to this, and he had a piece.
Told me about this guy.
They decommissioned it, and he had a big chunk of it on his desk. But I wonder if the captain's quarters were
too
close to the reactor.
Yeah. All right.
That is the episode. We'll see you next week on the patreon.com/podcasting for me. And otherwise, please remember to subscribe, rate us, write a review. Helps us on the algorithm. If you like a show, if you like any show.
Yeah.
Tell a friend, tell your dad. Watch your sister's ass. What did he say on the movie?
That was a weird part of both the films. That's not an Argentinian thing, I think. Something was just going on with these guys.
Something's going on. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Podcasting for Me. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or you're interested in co-hosting a 2-person Steven Soderbergh podcast, you can email us at podcastingforme@gmail.com. All of this is at podcastingforme.com. Thank you to Jeremy Allison for our artwork. Check out Jeremy's incredible Solaris poster that he created for the Soderbergh Solaris.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also been messing around with some 3D modeling, so I assume that the Ian dildo clone will be coming to podcastingforme.com very soon.
It fits in a normal envelope.
Sealed with a kiss.
Bye.